Greetings, beautiful watchers, and welcome back to the Don Reviews The Prisoner, where we'll be taking a look at episodes 4 and 5 of the 60s British TV show that confused the hell out of an entire generation. Beginning with Free for All. This episode, in my opinion, is definitely one of the weaker ones. It's not overly clever or deep, and it's probably the best example of when it looks like the village is just trying to piss number 6 off without a clear payoff. The new number 2 turns up at number 6's house and they have breakfast together. This is another fine example of the British-style hero. You may hate a man and everything he represents, but by God, that's no reason to be impolite to him in any way.
Enjoy your
Marmalade? Thank you.
Numero Dos then tries to convince a skeptical Numero Seis that the position of leader of the village is actually a democratically elected position, and he should consider putting himself forward as a candidate.
Are you going to run? Like blazes, the first chance I get. I meant run for office.
2 manages to get 6 to agree on the grounds that if he wins, he'll be able to use his power to leave the village at will. He's assigned a German woman as a campaign assistant who doesn't speak English, who he's never fully convinced isn't a spy for number 2, despite her apparent enthusiasm.
Dai, sit. So. La risitona. La risitona. La risitona.
Number 6's behaviour is probably the most puzzling thing in this episode, as after a while he seems to really commit quite drastically to the political campaign. I assumed at first that he must have some ulterior motive for this, as he couldn't possibly be gullible enough to believe he was actually going to be given the keys to the village. He also starts losing his cool in a very un-Number 6-like way, becoming prone to random outbursts of anger and rude behaviour. Oh, and there's also a bit in the middle where number 6 is put on a revolving podium that sinks into the floor and he ends up in an underground green room where he undergoes some sort of lie detector test that involves a silhouette of a ball in a cube and no actual talking.
Why did you wish to run for electoral office? That is a lie.
Make of that what you will. Shortly afterwards, the German girl makes him a cup of tea which is apparently so bad it inclines him to hijack a boat and attempt to cheese it out of the village. And just like with all his other escape attempts, he's foiled by Rover and dragged back to shore sandwiched twixt his mighty balloon testicles. And number 6's boorish behaviour is eventually explained when it's revealed they've been slipping drugs into his drinks all episode. He's been tripping balls since breakfast. So the election finally comes and number 6 is apparently the victor. For some odd reason at this point the entire village stops reacting to any sort of external stimuli. In a display of jolly good sportsmanship, number 2 accepts defeat with dignity and shows number 6 to the main control room where number 6 loses his shit.
This is our chance. Take it now. I have command. I will immobilize all electronic controls. Listen to me. You are free to go. You are free to go. Free to go. You are free to go.
He beats up some dudes, runs out a door, sees some other guys chilling out with a deactivated Rover, loses a fist fight and gets dragged back in. And the German girl is number 2. I'm not sure if this means that she was number 2 all along, or she just got the job, or what. This was the moment I was expecting the big reveal, but the episode fails to provide you with any sort of real reason for any of the preceding shit to have happened.
We have many ways and means, but we don't wish to damage you permanently. Are you ready to talk?
I'm not entirely sure why you thought he would be. It was established early on in the series that the traditional forms of interrogation wouldn't achieve much, and everything you did to him in this episode was only really affecting him because he was doped up. Wait. Are you saying you set this whole thing up just so you guys could work him over? Okay, chaps, let's really brainstorm now. How do we get number 6 to spill the beans? I forget. Have we actually tried just beating the piss out of him yet? Well, I mean, we can't just do it. We have a reputation to uphold. I've got it. Does anyone here speak German? I guess we'll have to file this one away under the village generally messing with 6 to weaken his sanity and show him who's boss, as that kind of makes sense, but I don't know, it's a very specific way of going about it. I suppose if you want to be even less subtle, you could see it as a message to him that if he does ever manage to switch off Rover, they still have an army of guards ready to put him in his place. But if that is the case, the whole episode could have been condensed down to... By the way, number 6, I should probably mention that if you do ever find a way to switch off Rover, we have an army of guards ready to put you in your place. Noted. Moving on to the possibly could have been better named Schizoid Man. So this episode starts with number 6 humouring a young lady who's taken it into her head that she is psychic and an amateur photographer. 6 remains nice to her even when she clumsily bashes his finger. And well gosh, didn't we all know someone just like that in our youth? Don't bother number 6, when she says you two are connected it means she's friend-zoning you. That night, the new number 2 attacks him with a lamp of doom and they come and shoot him up with yet more drugs. Holy shit, is Charlie Sheen running this place? The village scientists then subject number 6 to a series of unusual indoctrination techniques to get him to use his left hand for stuff, and you see them removing a mole on his wrist with plastic surgery. Sometime later, number 6 awakens to find his worst nightmares have been realised. He has a moustache! Oh, and also his hair, clothes and location have changed drastically overnight. He emerges from his new dwelling to find that everyone in the village is acting like he's someone else and keep referring to him as number 12. Number 2 tells him that he's been brought to the village to help break a person called number 6 by weakening his grasp on reality.
You know, you really do bear remarkable resemblance. Remarkable. Once he begins to doubt his own identity, he'll crack. What do you think of the idea?
I think it has fascinating possibilities, but you'll have an awful job convincing me that I am not your number 6.
Number 6 is not impressed. You can take away a man's freedom, but by God you don't force a mustache on him against his will. The plot thickens dramatically when a perfect doppelganger turns up claiming to be the real number 6.
One of number 2's little ideas, I suppose? Where'd they get you? A people's copying service, or are you one of those double agents we hear so much about these days?
They engage in a series of trials to prove which one of them is the genuine article, and to his horror, 6 finds that the other guy can out-6 him at every turn.
If ever you do challenge me to a duel, your safest bet will be battle axes in a very dark cellar.
You know, now that I think about it, it's a little strange that they went through all this effort to find this perfect copy and then stuck him in the wrong colour jacket at the last minute. They're both called to number 2's office and the other guy is interrogated as if he were a third-party agent who snuck into the village.
For the last time, what do your people want with number 6?
I am number 6. I am number 6.
At this point, number 6 tries to do something unexpected to throw a wrench into the works by asking for his psychic friend to be brought there and use her power to determine which one of them is the genuine number 6. Wait, does that mean number 6 actually believes in psychic powers? Huh, he didn't seem the type. What's next, him trying to use healing crystals to protect him from Rover? Ha! Anyways, like every woman 6 has trusted since the first episode, she turns out to be a plant and sides with the other guy. The lack of mole on his wrist comes into play again as further proof that 6 isn't 6. A disillusioned number 6 goes home to try to work through his new artificially induced existential crisis. But then he notices that the bruise he supposedly received the day before had worked its way down his fingernail quite significantly. Finally given hard proof of foul play, number 6 apparently then recalls the memory of his reprogramming through sheer force of will.
I am left-handed and number 12. I do not smoke cigars.
Number 6 then undoes his left-hand training by touching a water pipe and then a lamp, which somehow gives him an electric shock and resets his instinctive movements. Your science is silly, my good 6, but whatever works for you, I guess. Armed with his new refound assurance of his identity, number 6 sneaks back to his original residence past curfew. He's caught en route, but manages to throw off his pursuers and finally answer the great philosophical question of who is smarter, a man or a large latex balloon. Number 6 has, understandably, become a little irate about this whole affair and relieves his stress by beating 7 kinds of piss out of his copy, who turns out to be a gentleman named Carter.
Get far.
Haha, got your mole. He forces him to reveal the password number 2 is set up to prove his identity and then uses it to trick Rover into killing Carter instead of him.
Schizoid man. Schizoid man. Schizoid man. Schizoid man.
Always looking to turn a situation to his advantage, number 6 then assumes Carter's identity in the hopes of being shipped out of the village.
Number 6 is dead.
What?
He's dead. Rover got him.
Alas, because he knew absolutely nothing about Carter's backstory, number 2 and co smell a rat and the helicopter just flies him around in a big circle.
You won't forget to give Susan my regards, will you?
I won't. Goodbye.
Susan died a year ago, number 6.
Stalemate. Honestly, just like with the last one, this episode appears to be suffering from a few gaps in logic. Also, it's a shame that they made it so clear that the ruse was a ruse right from the start.
You have done your homework, haven't you?
No, you've done yours. Even the Shakespeare bit.
There's an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine that centres around Chief O'Brien believing that everyone on the space station had gone funny except for him and he had to save the day, only for the twist at the end to be that he was the intruder all along and he just didn't know it. Think about how trippy this episode would have been if it had turned out at the end that the white-jacketed number 6 was number 6 all along, and the guy the episode had centred around was in fact some poor random sod who had been programmed to believe that he was real to add credibility to his performance. At the very least, they could have left out the showing of 6's reprogramming until the point where he works it out himself.
There are no second chances.
So, this wasn't a bad episode at all, it just wasn't a very suspenseful one. Please remember, beautiful watchers, that this is still one of my all-time favourite TV shows, so when I say an episode is not as good, it's not an indication that it was bad in any way, or that I'm recommending you avoid it. Every damn second of this show had me completely enthralled. My point is simply that there's always room for improvement, in everything. So until next time, my beautiful watchers, be seeing you.